Parents, listen up. There seems to be a teacher shortage taking place across the country. Not good news. Between the pandemic and the low pay, a lot of experienced educators, well, they're retiring. And the new folks entering the field, they're opting for different careers. One state experiencing a shortage, Florida. The state is now 5,000 teachers down. Other states are also easing the requirements for substitute teachers at this point. Joining me now from New Orleans, we have Tale Lockett, education expert and CEO of Algiers Charters, and the gentleman on the screen live in Atlanta, Alfred Brooks. He's an education expert and is also a current high school teacher. Gentlemen, welcome to BNC Live. It is a pleasure to have you. So we'll start with Alfred for our first question. How is the teacher shortage impacting students of color?
Look, students of color have been really dealing with the deficits in education across the map, whether it be lack of resources, lack of networking, lack of investment, and now it's even more exacerbated. We're seeing a lack of ability to connect to the internet. We're seeing young people not having the one-to-one attention that they deserve. And I think, right now we're having a true reckoning with underinvesting and not paying attention to the needs of educators. And it is time for America to get serious about doing something about the issue.
Yeah. Talit, what kind of racial makeup are we actually seeing in the classroom today? And has that changed since the pandemic?
It's first of all, good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for having me. The racial makeup it can vary across different states, or vary across different cities. Here in New Orleans, we are currently 80% African American, with a 90% um, student population that is African American. So we don't face some of the same challenges and the same issues, but there is a disparity between what you see African American educators across the state.
All right, Talit, we're still getting some feedback. If you could try to lower your volume, we're going to come right back to you. Alfred, do you want to respond to what Talit just said?
Yeah. Well, in America, this is the first year in a very long time in the history of America that there are actually less white students in schools than there are students of color. But when you have achievement gaps that have continued to exist year upon year after year, you get to the reality of, is America assessing how effective our schools are properly? The way that we do it now is by enforcing standardized testing and those type of things. But for those in the education field who are familiar, and to those who are not, standardized testing is a form of redlining in education. Standardized testing is a way to keep some students from certain opportunities that they may well be well qualified for, yet the way these tests are created are very intentional in making sure that specifically Black students are not able to achieve access to the next levels in education. So I think we have to start looking more deeply into what is the impact of how we do education on Black babies in this country.
Well, Talit, to pick up off of what Alfred just said, talk about the next levels of education. Can you also talk about the lack of Black teachers, how Black students or students of color also missing out on opportunities to be placed in advanced placement classes? Can you talk about that, sir?
Yes. So currently, like say, Louisiana has one of the biggest teacher shortage in say Black men, which is a rarity in public schools, and according to an article in our Advocate newspaper in October 2019. So when you think about that, and you think about the aspects that we're trying to give kids an opportunity to, like Alfred said, to connect with people of color, to connect with people who look like them, sound like them, that are from the same area of which they grew up, is giving them the opportunity in that exposure. So what we try to do is always make sure that we are giving them the opportunity to expose themselves in a proper way to have those opportunities for advanced placement classes. What are we doing as a research, as in our own organization and the schools across the state of Louisiana? How can we improve that?
Yeah. Gentlemen, question for both of you. My best friend is a teacher, and she always has stories of how students are just so surprised that she's not from the suburbs, but she can relate to some of the personal struggles that they are dealing with on the day to day. Do you all hear stories like that? And if so, is that shocking or surprising to you?
Um, as a black male teacher, we are less than 2% of all teachers throughout the country. And the impact of a young person, especially a young black boy, seeing a man at the front and head of the classroom who looks like him, who has been through what he's been through, who speaks the language of his nurturer, means the world to that child. And I think we really have to be very intentional about making education a more viable career opportunity for people, period. And that is the only way that we will be able to increase and turn these numbers around. Studies show that when a black male teacher is in a school, those students, those black boys, are 50% more likely to graduate. We see greater performance out of all students when black men are in the classroom. And this means so much, especially when it's outside of just being the gym teacher and outside of just being the disciplinarian on the hallway. And it's so important and critical that we open up education to more black men to be able to still be breadwinners, to be able to do well, and teach at the same time. And the only way we're going to do that is for America to begin valuing the work of women, as teaching is a female dominated arena, and paying educators what they deserve.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon on BNC Live. It was a pleasure having you, and we look forward to welcoming you back to learn more about this.